Yeah, boss of YouTube, how's it going, everybody? Have for y'all today, week 1 of the APA. We, the Durham Druddigons, are taking on the Carolina Clefables. Now, if you guys may have missed our team builder, a link to that will be down in the description so you guys can find out exactly why I'm bringing what I'm bringing and what I expected my opponent to bring and my thought process kind of going into this game. So, of course, if you guys want to check out all the other coaches, then their channel link and stuff will be down below in the description. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and answer the potential comment question of the day. Now, if you didn't watch the team builder, then don't worry, I will be trying my best to be doing future APA battles in live commentated fashion. So hopefully just this match will be the one that is post commentated, and then the rest I will try my best to make live commentated. So let's take a look at the team preview. And at team preview, he ended up bringing just about every Pokemon I expected. I was actually really surprised to see that he didn't bring the Primeape, and the fact that he didn't bring Primeape to this match is actually really good for me because now I don't have to worry about a potential Scarfer and an extremely hard-hitting Mon. Although Mega Aerodactyl could be very, very annoying, I definitely have to watch out for that. And of course, Linoone is absolutely terrifying, and I need to find out what kind of moveset he is running. So at team preview, I felt like Tauros was realistically going to be my best lead. I live any hit from anything he wants to lead with, and then I can start kind of punishing his team and breaking down his walls, because one of Tauros's main things going into this matchup was that I needed him to be one of my checks to Primeape, but because he doesn't have Primeape, I can just kind of start applying offensive pressure right off of the bat. So he ends up leading off with the Ferrothorn. Turn 1, I'm just going to go straight for the Fire Blast. I don't really mind if he doesn't want to pull a switch out here. Whatever comes in, I'll be able to get off a little bit of chip damage on, and then if he brings in the Mew here, I'll be able to find out if he is more of a bulky set or not, as he actually switches into the Mega Aerodactyl, most likely thinking that I would try to go for a Fire type move, as this turn I'm going to hopefully catch him off guard and go for the Iron Tail. But he makes a good switch here into his Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen was another very terrifying Pokemon in this match. The great thing though is that I'm able to get off so much damage on this Nidoqueen that I will be able to easily revenge kill it. But much to my surprise, my Tauros actually lives the Sludge Wave. Unfortunately though, turns out that he's got the Sucker Punch and just barely hung on there, as I'm gonna bring in my Donphan here, and I was actually so painfully close to not going for the Ice Shard this turn, because I honestly thought that he would try to go for the Sucker Punch just to try to get off some more damage on me. So I was like, okay, I can maybe go for my Stealth Rocks, but luckily it turns out that maybe he tried to get up his own rocks that turn, and then I was able to knock him out with the Ice Shard. As in comes the Mew. I have no idea what kind of set this Mew is, so I'm going to be forced to switch out here, as I bring in my Rotom thinking I'll be able to live anything and take anything very easily. Turns out that, judging from that damage after checking the calc, he is definitely an offensive Mew, so that is very terrifying. I don't want to stay in and possibly take a Surf, so I'm going to switch directly in to my Primarina here, actually thinking that maybe he would try to go for the Surf, but he ends up going straight for the Nasty Plot, and this is a little bit terrifying because I don't really have a good switch into this Mew now that he was able to get up a Nasty Plot. So I am going to be forced to leave in my Primarina here, which is going to be able to tank the +2 Psychic, and in return I will be able to get off a solid amount of damage with the Scald. I think if I had gone with my original plan, which was to bring like a more tanky offensive variant of Primarina, that might have helped me out a little bit more here, because I would have been able to Moonblast. But I'm going to make an aggressive switch here into my Hydreigon, expecting him to want to go for another Psychic. Thankfully he does, as this turn I will be able to safely go for the Dark Pulse, not wanting to mess around with this Mew. Mew is absolutely terrifying at +2, and he knows this, so he's going to make a good switch here into his Clefable, and then expecting him to maybe try to go for a Thunder Wave or try to get up his Stealth Rocks here. If he maybe had Spikes on Ferrothorn, then he could have potentially had like Toxic Spikes on Nidoqueen or something along those lines. I try to bring my Rotom here in hopes that I would be able to get up a substitute in front of this Clefable, but he makes a really good double switch here into his Mew, and then I make a bit of a misplay here I thought that he would try to go for the Psychic there to just weaken and knock out my Rotom, so that's why I actually ended up going for the Pain Split, because if he did hit me with the Psychic, he would have put me at around very red or low yellow HP, and then I would have been able to Pain Split and do more damage to him. But he ends up going for the Nasty Plot, and this is a little bit scary, so I'm going to switch here and just sack off my Primarina. Primarina realistically was not doing too much in this match, so just sacking it off here I thought was my best use for it at this moment. He does end up getting a crit there with the Aura Sphere, and if he hadn't had crit me there and I would have been able to live another one, it might have come down to mind games on whether or not he would have gone for another Aura Sphere, or he might have gone for the Psychic, and then I might have been able to aggressively switch into Hydreigon on that Psychic, but that would have been really risky on my end, so I most likely still would have sacked off Primarina regardless of the crit there. As I bring back in my Hydreigon here, I'm going to go straight for the Dark Pulse. I really have no reason to not just go for Dark Pulse. Like, I guarantee a KO on the Mew. If he brings in the Clefable again, it's really not that detrimental to me. I can easily just bring in my Rotom, and I'm able to get off a pretty solid amount of damage on the Ferrothorn here, as he actually pulls a double switch into his Clefable, possibly scouting out to see if my Hydreigon was actually choiced, because if I wasn't choiced, that might have been a perfect chance for me to go for the Flamethrower or the Fire Blast, as I will be able to substitute in front of this Clefable. Turns out that he goes for the Toxic, and this is the perfect scenario that I wanted this Rotom set to be in. I can easily go for a Charge Beam, and if I can get the +1 in my special attack, I will be doing really good damage to anything and everything on his team. As he brings in the Mew, even though Charging does say it's 70% to raise your special attack stat, I still stand by the fact that that is a damn lie. It is not 70%. I get more Scald Burns than I do getting a special attack boost from Charge Beam, and I hit Stone Edge more than I get a boost from Charge Beam, and let's be honest, Stone Edge misses all the time. So yeah, if I had got the special attack boost here, I would have been able to knock out this Mew, and now I'm in a really bad spot, because essentially I have to sack my Rotom here, expecting him to want to go for the Z move if he did have it. Now, if he didn't have the Z move, I could still comfortably live any one hit, but there was really nothing I could risk switching in to this Mew at this moment, and it turns out that he's actually got the Never-Ending Nightmare, which is kind of cool. That's not a Z move I thought he would bring. I thought that maybe he would have the Shattered Psyche because Munium Z is illegal, or that he might have had the All-Out Pummeling since he had the Aura Sphere. But Never-Ending Nightmare is pretty cool, and my Rotom is luckily able to live, as I in return knock him out with the Hidden Power Fire, as this gives him a free switch into Mega Aerodactyl, and I've used Mega Aerodactyl plenty of times to know that this could very well have the Pursuit. But if he doesn't have the Pursuit, I definitely want to switch out here in hopes to be able to save my Rotom for later, so I can substitute on the Clefable or substitute on the Ferrothorn and then Pain Split them. But alas, he does have the Pursuit, and he will be able to knock out my Rotom here. Now, even though yes, he does still have Ferrothorn and I lost my Fire type, I still have very good ways of dealing with Ferrothorn, so I really wasn't too worried at this moment, as I will be able to bring in my Jirachi here. I don't want to mess around with this Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is a humongous nuisance to me in this match, so I have to make the very obvious play here and go straight for the Iron Head, because there was a chance that maybe he did want to stay in, hoping that I would overpredict or expect him to bring in the Ferrothorn. As he does bring in the Ferrothorn here, turns out that he is Iron Barbs with the Rocky Helmet, and that is good and bad. It's good because now he is actually in range of where a Fire Punch may be able to knock him out. It's bad because I'm going to be taking all of this chip damage. As I go for the Wish, this next turn Fire Punch is thankfully enough to knock out this Ferrothorn, and down it goes. As the Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs do put me really low, I will gain back my Wish here and putting me up to a solid amount of HP. However, though, this does give him a free switch back into the Mega Aerodactyl, but at this amount of HP, I can actually comfortably live a Pursuit and then get off an Iron Head. So a part of me felt like switching out here in the long run was actually my better play. I was really close to honestly staying in here because I had it set in my mind that he most likely is going to Pursuit. However though, if there's a chance that he doesn't Pursuit, then I need to switch here, because if he traps my Jirachi, I essentially lose his battle, because then I'll have nothing to get rid of the Clefable. And if he had gone for the Pursuit there and I left in my Jirachi, he still did not know if I potentially had to Protect or not, so I might have been able to go for the Wish and Protect and gain back Recovery and get myself out of range of where eventually Pursuit would have knocked me out there. So I really felt like switching out there was my best play, and that's actually really huge, as you guys will come to see. So luckily Hydreigon, being Scarfed, is able to easily revenge kill the Mega Aerodactyl, as in comes the giant terror that is Linoon. I'm just going to try to get off as much damage as I possibly can with the Flash Cannon. As I do a solid like 40-ish%, he is going to end up going for the Belly Drum here, activating his berry, putting him back up to, I think, the exact amount that he was earlier, because I did 40% and he's at about 60% again. So he is going to end up knocking me out here with the +6 extreme speed. However though, I still have my Donphan in the back in sturdy range, and I do luckily have the Rocky Helmet. So with the Rocky Helmet chip damage, he's actually going to put himself directly in range of where Earthquake will be able to knock him out. And even if this Earthquake didn't knock him out, he would have been in range of where an extreme speed with another round of Rocky Helmet damage would have knocked him out, and then I definitely would have gone for the Ice Shard if he was going to try to avoid the scenario of making physical contact with my Donphan. So down goes the Linoon, in comes the Clefable, and I'm just going to stay in here and try to go for a knockoff, because I still don't know what item this Clefable has, but it turns out that he's got the Flamethrower, and this is a little bit bad, because if he has enough special attack investment, he can actually knock out my Clefable, I mean knock out my Jirachi. But if he's more of a defensive Clefable, then there's no way he one-shots my Jirachi here. However though, I do have to potentially risk a Thunder Wave, as I pop the Babiri Berry, I get the flinch, and then this next Iron Head is actually going to be enough to knock out the Clefable. Now he told me after the battle that he had no move to touch my Jirachi, so I'm guessing that maybe he actually didn't even have the Thunder Wave to be able to paralyze my Jirachi. I'm not sure, you guys will have to see his side of the battle, but this was definitely a crazy first week of the APA. Once again guys, I promise you future battles will hopefully and most definitely I will be trying my best to make them live commentated. But the important turn in this battle was when he brought in Mega Aerodactyl against my Jirachi. If he had Pursuit trapped me there, expecting me to switch and knocked me out, he definitely won the match. But luckily he did end up going for the Earthquake and not the Pursuit, allowing me to have Jirachi as my last mon against his Clefable. So very good game to Panthers 2. We are starting off APA with a 1-0, and hopefully we can pick up another victory for next week. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Make sure to hit that like button down below, answer the potential comment question of the day. I don't know, let me know something in the comment section below. We'll see how things go, and hopefully we can continue pulling out some W's in the APA. So with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow and next week with week number 2. So later everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6 foot hacks, yeah. 6 foot hacks, yeah. 6 foot hacks.